A territorial dispute is defined as a disagreement over the possession or control of a piece of land between two or more countries. Oftentimes, territorial disputes arise when the treaty that defined the border was vague or when important natural resources are at stake. In this video, we'll be looking at a few areas of the world where interesting disputes exist. First up are the Kuril Islands, which are located in the Sea of Okhotsk between Japan and Russia. This archipelago stretches from Japan's northern coast to the southern tip of Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula and is claimed by both countries. Prior to World War II, the situation was clear. Japan owned the 4 southern islands, and the rest of the archipelago belonged to the Soviet Union. During World War II, however, the Soviet Union invaded Japan and annexed the islands. Following the war, the San Francisco Peace Treaty was signed, which stated that Japan would renounce all claims to the Kuril Islands. However, the lack of specificity in the treaty about which islands are part of the Kurils has caused a dispute over the 4 southernmost islands. Russia claims that these islands belong to them since Japan ceded them by signing the treaty in 1951. Japan, on the other hand, argues that they own these islands because they are not part of the Kuril Islands and thus fall outside of the scope of the treaty. Since the treaty was signed, both countries have maintained their original positions and have shown little desire to renegotiate. As a result, it seems unlikely that we will see a resolution anytime soon. The next debate we will look at is the border dispute between Egypt and Sudan. This debate is a result of the 2 conflicting borders that were drawn when Egypt and Sudan joined the British Empire. The first, which was drawn in 1899, established a straight political border dividing the 2 countries. The second, which was an administrative border established to better reflect land use by local tribes, was drawn in 1902. These 2 conflicting borders create 2 pieces of land that sit between them. Bur Tawil, a piece of desert with no natural resources and no settlements, and the Halaib Triangle, a piece of land that is more resource-rich with small settlements and coastal access. Egypt claims the original border to be the correct one, while Sudan claims the administrative border is the correct one. This creates an interesting situation where both countries claim the Halaib Triangle and neither claims Bur Tawil, since it would effectively force them to renounce their claim to the better piece of land. However, in reality, despite these debates, the land is simultaneously controlled by both countries. Since neither has indicated that there's any need for negotiations, it's likely that the status of these 2 pieces of land will continue to remain nebulous. Our final disputed territory is a piece of the Arctic Ocean known as Beaufort Sea between the United States and Canada. The dispute originates from the 2 countries' overlapping maritime claims. Canada's line is drawn based on a 19th century treaty between Russia and the United Kingdom, the 2 countries that controlled Alaska and Canada at the time. The American line is drawn using the principle of equidistance, where the border is simply a straight line drawn perpendicular to the coast. Although it may seem that the slice that these 2 countries are laying claim to is little more than a barren and frigid body of water, the immense amount of natural gas and oil beneath the seabed means that the territory is extremely desirable. For example, according to one estimate from Canada's National Energy Board, there's enough natural gas to cover Canada's consumption for 20 years. As a result, both countries are extremely eager to lay claim to this area. Although there haven't been many negotiations recently, the economic potential of this area means that this will certainly not be the last time we hear about this dispute. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you'd like to see another video about interesting border disputes, please comment which disputes you'd be interested in learning about. This has been Pigunis. Thanks for watching.